It's really important to be able to manage workplace stress for the sake of your sanity and your productivity. When you've got a lot of responsibilities and a lot of things going on at the same time, on top of overseeing other people doing their responsibilities, it's really easy for you to develop excessive, chronic, debilitating stress. Now, these are the telltale signs that burnout is not too far away from here, and we want to be able to prevent that in the first place. And so I'm going to share with you three practical ways that you can alleviate some of that stress and not let it pile up and affect your ability to do your best work, affect your physical health, affect your mental health, bring on things like anxiety because you're so stressed out you don't even know where to focus first, bring on feelings of depression because you feel incompetent. You feel like you can't keep up. And that makes you feel bad about yourself, especially if you're a high achiever, ambitious, wanting to put your best foot forward, over identifying with your work, which is another topic that we need to dive into at some point. But stress can wreak havoc on you, not just professionally, but personally in so many different ways. It makes you irritable, makes you difficult to work with. And so your team might not feel safe coming to you because you're a bit snappy. And it's not because that's who you are, it's because that's how you've been affected. That's the result of all the chronic stress. You're only human. You're not a robot. You're not a machine that can just take on all this stress and pile it on and not expect to crash and burn at some point. So, this feeling of being chronically overwhelmed is going to make it difficult for you to make your best decisions, for you to put your best work out there, for you to lead others to do the same. So we have to nip it in the bud. So the other thing that I want to mention is that there are some physical symptoms of stress that are often the first signs that you've got to do something about this because your body is going to give out if you don't do something. And these are headaches, backaches, your eye twitching. That is not good. That usually indicates that you have high levels of cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So, oftentimes, what I see time and time again is people pushing through, especially if you're one of those high achievers, pushing through, trying to just make it through and telling yourself, okay, I'll slow down once this gets done. But then the other thing comes over. And when it comes along, you're like, okay, I will definitely slow down once this is completed. And then the next thing falls on your lap and the next thing. And it's just this vicious cycle of stress that when it adds up, you become burnt out. And by then, it's really difficult to reverse the negative impact of this chronic, consistent, debilitating stress. And we haven't even touched the stress that comes from your home life, along with other things that are happening to you in your personal life, things that you're struggling with in general, like relationships or health issues in general, or feeling unfulfilled and having a midlife crisis. Like, there's so much that contributes to stress, and it affects you in so many different ways, in ways that really put at risk the very things that matter to you the most, like your career, your health. If you don't have health, you might as well forget your career, might as well forget being able to be there for other people and lead them along the way, because you cannot lead from an empty tank. We hear that all the time. It's kind of cliche, but it's cliche for a reason because it's true. So I want you to do these three things. The first thing that I want you to do is to understand the trade-off. When you say yes to something, you are automatically saying no to something else. So you want to make sure that it's worth it, because you don't have a 25th hour in the day. It's only 24/7. Okay? And so you have to be mindful of, what is it that I'm saying yes to? Is this aligned with my vision? Is this aligned with my strategy? Or is this going to set me back? In fact, that's the second thing that I want you to be aware of. Whenever something falls on your lap, comes to your desk, you get a request, I want you to ask yourself, is this going to help or hinder my progress? Is this going to help make forward momentum, get to the outcome, the results that I'm looking for quicker? Or is this going to hold me back? Help or hinder? That's the question I want you to automatically ask yourself. On top of, if I say yes to this, what am I automatically saying no to? What am I going to have to postpone or figure out how to delegate or just let it go because this is more important? But it has to be aligned with whatever it is that is going to help you, not hinder you, not harm you, and cause you to be more stressed out. So say yes to something. What are you giving up in its place? Something new comes along. Is this going to help you or hinder you? It's usually one or the other. It's not both. And people make decisions without really reflecting on this. I want this to become second nature for you. This is what a leader looks like, how they think. And how they think then impacts what they do to prevent the stress from accumulating and not let them lead at their best. The other thing that I want you to do is to manage not just your time, but your energy. Because here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you take 2 hours to do something. It might not take a lot of your energy compared to 10 minutes of, let's say, a high intensity workout. Those 10 minutes are harder than a 10-minute leisurely walk. So it's not just about how much time you dedicate to something, but how much energy it takes from you. And so you have to be mindful of what you say yes to or not, and what level of energy depletion will you have to go through. Is it worth it? Think of your energy as being in a tank. Every day you pour some of it out until it's empty, and you get home and you have nothing left to give to your family or to yourself. You're just exhausted, just lay down on a couch, really pooped, can't get up, turn on the TV, watch episode after episode if you have the time. If not, you might be staying up late, by the way. I can't go to sleep because you've got so many things on your mind in the first place. Don't get enough sleep. Wake up in the morning exhausted just to do it all over again. So we want to be able to prevent this stress cycle from continuing. Yes, of course, we all get stressed out. But excessive stress, that's not normal. That's not cool. That's not cute. That's not a symbol of like, it's not a badge of honor. When people ask, how are you doing? Oh, I'm so busy. As if that's supposed to be a badge of honor. We say it automatically. We think that the busier we are, the more valuable we are, the more we're contributing. We have a sense of self-identity attached to our work, but it doesn't mean it has to be stressful. People think that in order to demonstrate that they're working hard, that they're giving it their all, that there has to be a high amount of stress, chaos, fast pace. And while sometimes that is the case, it shouldn't be consistent. It shouldn't be chronic. It shouldn't be to the point where it debilitates your ability to function at your best. So I want you to try those 3 different strategies that I shared with you. Just to reiterate, say yes to something, you're automatically saying no to something else. Something comes to you, a request, a new project, is it going a new responsibility? Is it going to help or hinder you from making progress in your vision for success, the strategy, the approach, the mission that you're on? And then also manage your energy. You don't have a full cup all day long. When you wake up in the morning, focus on the most important task. That's whatever requires most of your energy. Use that as your, what I call your power hour, the first hour of your workday. Take care of it then and there. Because if you try to do it at the end of the day, you don't have a lot of energy left. And so you're not going to be able to get to it. Or if you do have time to get to it still, you're not going to give it your best shot. You don't have it in you. It's not on purpose. It's just you're human and you're exhausted by the end of the day. So be strategic. This is part of your responsibility as a leader. So let's make that happen. Okay, if you need some support with figuring out what are some strategies that you can apply to your specific lifestyle, your specific situation, responsibilities, then all you have to do is reach out to me, send me a message, and I'm happy to give you some ideas as to how you can alleviate the stress so it doesn't hold you back and affect your career, your personal life, your physical health, your mental health, and you can show up and do your best work. All right, till next time.